Aquaba, welcome back to You Ain't Imagining This, the sanctuary space where we are naming, restoring, and imagining together. I'm Amma Robin, your sister host here with you again. And because every episode is a first for someone, I want to take a moment to Aquaba, welcome you to YAIT Town, and to give you a bit more information about today's episode. So this is a comforting moment episode. And a comforting moment episode is something a little special and a little different from the other episodes we've been sharing. It's not a space where you have to think anything through. It's not a space where you need to analyze or figure anything out. It is a space where you can simply be. A place where your shoulders can relax a little, where your attention can soften, where your breath can slow down at its own pace. Nothing is being asked of you here. You don't have to respond. You don't have to agree. You don't have to take notes or hold on to anything. You can just be. You can just listen. Or you can even just let the words sit in the background while you rest. This is also a space where you can return to, not just once, but over and over and over again. You might come back to it one day when you're feeling a little full, or when something has stayed with you longer than you would like or than you expected, or when you simply need a moment where you don't have to carry quite so much. Each experience may be a little different, and that's okay. There's no right way to be here. There is just a space where you can give yourself a little more space. And we don't get that very often. Definitely not often enough. So as we move into this comforting moment together, take a moment to let yourself settle in whatever way feels natural for you. And if you know someone who could benefit from this comforting moment, here's an idea. Send it to them. Encourage them to listen. Or, listen to this. Even listen to it with them. This is a community, and we see each other and we reach out to each other. I'm so glad we're here together. Let's get started. Today, we're going to step away from Umoja Café for just a little while, but we'll be back soon. Of course, we gotta come back for Miss Aisha's good food and for the warm conversation and the great vibes there. We have done a lot there this month. We've named things. We've sat with them. We've begun to understand what we've been carrying. And if you're anything like me, that kind of reflection can stay with you. It can settle into your body in a quiet way, not overwhelming, but definitely present. That's when I say to myself, Amma, you got to get outside. Amma, you need some outdoor energy, some nature, some sunshine, or maybe even the feeling of a fresh breeze. I say that to myself a lot, and I'm saying it now. So, let's go together to the George Washington Carver Community Garden. This garden matters in YAIT Town. It's green, it's steady, and it's alive in a quiet way, and it's always open up to us. It's a place where things are given time, where what you've been carrying can begin to settle, where you don't have to hold on to anything so tightly. And as I stand here, I just can't help but think, oh, George Washington Carver would be so proud of a place like this. A place where we're not just remembering what we've learned, but we're creating space to grow into something fuller. Let's take a minute to imagine it together. Imagine walking through a simple gate, the kind that opens easily with only a slight sound. As you move forward, the air changes slightly. It feels more open here. There's a softness to the air. The sounds are familiar too. Maybe we hear leaves moving in the breeze. Maybe there are voices somewhere in the distance, low and easy. Maybe it's quiet in a way that doesn't feel empty or silent, but spacious, alive. Let's find a place where we can settle. Perhaps we can sit on this bench. Or perhaps you prefer to stand for a minute. I think I prefer walking down along this path. There's no rush here. We can let our bodies feel this space. We can let our minds relax here. We don't have to change anything. Let's just notice what's already here. And as you stand or sit or walk in this space, it feels a little more open. Now I want to invite you into something small. Not a big shift, but an important one. I invite you to take a small moment to imagine. Let's begin by taking a deep breath together. In through the nose, now out through the mouth. Let's do it one more time. In through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Think about where you are right now, your current space, right at this minute. Where you are as you're listening to this episode. Look around. Now, close your eyes, if that's available to you, if you're in a safe space to do that, and listen. You might be in a room. You might be in a corner of your home. You might simply be sitting in a chair. Even if you're outside, just take in what's around you. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Now, without needing to change anything, just begin to notice, how does this space feel to you? How do you feel in this space? What would make this space feel a little lighter or easier to be in? There might be something small and physical that would shift the feeling of this place. A little more light coming in, a different kind of quiet, a chair that feels more comfortable, or simply being able to sit in a way that lets your body settle. It might also be about the people around you. Who's here right now? Who is not here with you? You might notice that the space feels different when there are people who reflect you, or people who feel open, at ease, and easy to be around. You might imagine what it would feel like to be in a space where you don't have to explain yourself, where you are understood without having to work for it. How would that feel? And some things may be a little less visible, but still very real. A feeling of being more settled in your body, or having a little more room for your breath, or having a sense that you can arrive just as you are without needing to prepare or adjust. What comes up for you? Not what you should change, but what for you would make this space feel more comfortable, or more peaceful, or more like a place where you can fully be. Let yourself imagine that shift as something close to you, something you can sense, even in a small way, right where you are. You might begin to notice how your shoulders settle into a natural ease, as if you found a place where you belong. Or you might notice your breath moving more freely, steady, open, unhurried. You might notice what it feels like to sit in a space where there is a quiet sense of safety, where your body can simply be. And from here, something else comes into focus. A feeling of ease in your own presence. A sense of comfort, not because everything is perfect, but because you are allowed to be here exactly as you are. You might notice a gentle sense of belonging, not something you have to reach for, but something already available to you in this moment. There may be a soft, steady sense of peace, a quiet connection to yourself, to the space around you, to this moment. Stay with this for a moment. Let it be enough for this moment. Stay with this feeling for a moment. stay with this space for a moment. Let this space exist for you. If your mind moves a bit, that's just fine. Just come right back gently to this feeling. What you're doing here is not creating a perfect environment. You're allowing yourself to experience another relationship to the space you're already in. That is imagination. And that matters. Because everything we've talked about, racial socialization, internalization, the ways we've learned to move and carry those things do not disappear. They're still a part of us. And they've helped us to navigate certain spaces, particularly white-centered spaces. They've helped us to stay in the room. In some cases, they've helped us to stay alive. But that is not the whole story. Alongside all of that, there can also be moments like this. Moments where your body isn't carrying quite as much. Moments when your attention can soften. Moments when there is just a little more room to be present. There's more space. And in that room, something begins to open. Not always in a dramatic way, but just enough to notice. And you might notice that your thoughts slow down slightly, or that your body feels a little more grounded, or that there's a quiet sense of steadiness underneath everything else, or that there's joy, belonging, peace, safety, connection. Now you don't have to hold on to this, and you don't have to recreate it later. You can just let yourself experience it while it's here, because this is part of restoring. Not fixing what happened, not unlearning anything, but giving yourself moments where you don't have to carry everything at once. Moments where your system gets to rest, even for a moment, even for a brief moment, where your experience has space, where you can feel that you are here, and that is enough for now. Let's take another breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're ready, begin to come back to your surroundings just as they are, not as something you need to change, but as something you can now meet a little differently. You can carry this sense of space with you, just as something you felt before and can return to in small ways. One last deep breath together, because a collective breath is powerful and uplifting and healing. In through the nose, and sigh it out through the mouth. Take a moment again to notice where you are. Take a moment to notice what you feel. And carry that sense of space with you in whatever way feels natural. Thank you so much for being here today. Asante Sana for staying through this whole imagination practice. I'm Amma Robin, and I can't wait to see you back here at the George Washington Carver Community Garden again real soon. And always remember, you can come as you are. You can take what you need. And you ain't imagining this. One love, fam.